Hello guys, it's yet another video of mine, and today we are just continuing with um, where we ended with, where we were able to create our own HTTP response on our Django framework. So today, in the previous video, I would just recommend, if you are just watching this video, I would just recommend for you, this is a Django, Django bootcamp. I'm just sharing a Django crash course. I'm just showing free on YouTube, and then this is, I think, the third or fourth video that I'm making. And from where we are today, I'll be. It's actually a very simple, and then it's complicated as for a first timer. If it's really your first time that you'll be seeing what I'm about to do, I think it will surely be some kind of weird thing with you, but I encourage you that don't be dismayed. Since what I'll be teaching you, we will actually be using it when I think from this the next two videos we'll be actually diving into database, which is model that I did mention earlier in the video that I did. So if you are currently watching the video, I know this might solve your problem, but actually you can check up on some of my videos that I've also created, and then you can also like and subscribe. Yeah, the important thing, subscribe. And then today I'll be talking, or I'll be teaching you about templates and starting. Actually, template is not actually this thing. It's not actually an HTML, but it's a combination of Python HTML together, where you'll be able to link your CSS, you'll be able to link your JavaScript, you'll be able to code on your HTML and then link it with your Python, with the Django, the framework, and then you'll be able to display it on your browser. Yeah, on your browser. Just like in the previous video we did mention about how many of the websites, popular websites like Pinterest and Netflix and those kind of websites, they were built based on Django. So actually that's basically what we'll be doing, how we'll be using our HTML together with our Python to display it on our web browser. So let's immediately or quickly dive into our today course, which I said is a template and static. How we'll be able to also add our a little bit of CSS. Yes, we can add JavaScript and CSS in our Django. So I'll be teaching you guys how we can do that in this video. And just like I said, in the next two videos, what you're waiting for, the database and the model, we'll be diving on into how you can do our query. Yes, with Django. Django has this ability, has this magic. Yeah, has this magic to do this. So first, let's tackle with our template, and then this also solve a problem. I think this is actually a problem for people, that when they are trying to link their templates, they'll be getting templates that don't exist. Template is the name template is not recognized, or it's not known. So yeah, you can also watch this video, and then I think it will solve the problem. So now for the talking, yeah. So let's dive in. So first of all, let me see. Let me activate my Python. Sorry, my environment. Yeah, my environment. Let me activate my environment. Okay, let me activate. So actually we did this in the previous video, so you can just check. Yeah, you can just check it out and see how it is done here. Okay, so oops, something happened. Okay, so this actually needs solved. So let me try to open either my PowerShell or my command prompt. So I would like us to use PowerShell. So let's quickly use our PowerShell, and then okay, let's quickly use our PowerShell and see. So PowerShell and see. Okay, so let me see. With PowerShell I can do ls here. I can do ls command, and then to bring me all my directories. So I want to cd into actually my project or my my folder is in my desktop. So let me try and cd into my desktop. You see, okay, cd in once again. Let me also try to let me also try to cd into my my projects, which is what, Django. Okay, so I can now cd into my first, no, I can just do activate before my environment. I think this will solve. Still. So let me cd into my my first, let me see my project name, my first lessons, I'm in, and let me activate and see if this will solve. Still, let me use my command prompt. Sorry guys. Okay, this can only do the IR. So I think I can now cd to my desktop, cd into my notes, Django, and then do my activate my environment. So there we go. So with my command prompts, I'm able to, so when it is being activated, it will just be shown at the back of your OS or your file path, your directory path or your system path right behind it. So now my environment is activated. So let me just cd into my first, the project that we created. If you could remember, this is what first lesson. Let me see my Python .py run. Let me see if I have errors before we continue to create our template. Okay, no error. So let me get my this thing running and up. So let me close this here, and then let me see if this is running. Welcome to our Django bootcamp. Just like in the previous video we were able to see. So now we want to create our template. We want to get our static file where we can display a few files and then add a small CSS. So let us go right into our project. So let me just clear this side. Okay, let me close my PowerShell. Alright, and then I've been activated. So with creating your template, you just come to where the folder where the we create our first listing, the folder that we create, the first lesson that we created in the actual folder of the Django. That's the actual folder that we are working in. We created something, a first lesson. The first lesson was able to give us a first lesson, which is our project name, and then the my first app. So you actually come to where the first lesson, the main project here, the main project part here, and then you create a folder here. And then you name it what? Templates. Name it templates, like templates. Let me show template like this here. So now we have our template created here. This slide is a bit complicated, so if you guys are watching this, I just want you to take your time and then just follow along. So we have our template name, all in what small letters, template name what here, and then this, we just first created our template in our first lesson, which is was the folder that our project and our app is running in. And then so right now it may depends someone might be running on Mac OS or other Linux or any OS of the person's choice, and then maybe the person have your code. How does the person run? Because Mac is different from Windows and those kind of those kind of things. So an easy way is what we do an import of what OS. So and then I think so. Let's check with our settings. I want to show you something interesting here. So see, Django, I'm using Django 4. What we created was Django 4. Now the Django 4, we have what the path. We have the path lib. From path lib import what path, and I think from the 2 and then the 3 you'll be able to import what OS. So right now we have our current. When we print this thing, this thing give the path. It gives what the path of the file or the current Python that you are running. So for me to okay, let me just print the base, yeah, like this here, and then run it. So I also just have to cd I just have to cd to my first lesson. Sorry guys, first lesson, and then my first lesson again, because I want to get the right this thing. So let's actually try to do print python setting dot, it's what settings dot py. So here we could see that we have what the file that we are currently in. This is my username, this is the file the users like normally. It all starts with what the C drive, and then this is my name, this is my system name, and then like I said I was in the desktop. Like I said, the folder 2 was what Django, and then the first list. So this actually prints the current part that we are working in with this thing. So from here we can tell, or we can just assign this thing to our template, so that when you print, that means what Django now recognize our template. This some of the errors that people normally do. So let's actually see how we can do. So I want to create my container, so I just want to use caps templates underscore dir like this, and then I would just, I think in the Python the first lesson we didn't talk about what dot join. So join is also a method that we can use to join. It's actually take the destination and the source and then the destination of what you want to pass. So actually I want to join them. I want to join. Okay, so I can do what I can do is I can do part like this, part like this. What I can do is part like this. Dot what? Dot join part, and then I pass in my base, and then the template name. That one will be what will be in strength. So I just pass in my template like this. So right now let me try to print my template and see if this really works. If this really works with what. So here we are. So we now have what the users, my name, the diner, the desktop, just like we're able to print with the first list. But this one we could see that template is what was added. So right now Django has able to recognize that we have what template. So here we can create our HTML, CSS, or the file that what we want, and this is what we use. We use that I gave a variable name path dot join what path. So let's take note of join dot join path here. So let me just cancel this thing. So right now the last thing to do when we did our installation of what Django gave us a template name. So this contains the template, the backend, the directory. So right now the last thing for us to do is what passing the name to our directories for Django 2, for Django its backend, for Django its own system to recognize what's our variable name or what's our template name. So we can just pass in with the template. Oh, sorry guys. yeah, like this. I can just add my comma. Maybe there might be other things, you but you can just leave it like this. So now we are able to assign our template in our Django. So let's try to create a simple HTML file. So I'll name it as show.html, and this is also an opportunity for you to learn HTML. So so I can do my HTML like this. Simple. And then with this side, my title, I can give this thing starting with Django. And then with my body, I can just do a head, a small head of Django like this. And then I can just do a navigation. Of this, and then navigation. Django really has Django is MVT, so I can just do something like dip, which applies to my model like this. So I can just for short. I can just do my template, and then my view like this. And then I can just do a few sessions here. Sessions like session I can give a div for. Let me actually not give a div. Let me actually give a so let me actually not give a div. So I can do something. Don't you feel like my H2, I can do getting started with Django framework. So I just save. And then there is something that I want to show you. I really did talk about in the include version. So in the include version, so in our urls.py, I'll just copy everything because I want to create a new URL on my own this time, not in my project name, but in my app name. So I'll just copy, and then in my app I can just create a file and then name it urls.py. Then I'll just paste everything here just like this. But this time I don't need the admin. And then there's a few things that I don't need here, so I think I don't need this here. And then what's I don't need. So okay, actually I think this is all that so I can just create if you could remember the r.path. This is this is regular expression. So I think for this I will just use the path so that it's you'll be able to understand both the re.path and then the actual.path. So should I pass in something? Actually, let me just pass in something like actually pass something like show. And then with this thing I have my views imported here, so I can just do views. And then with this side, okay, I can just do my views dot I created something in my views.py. So details like this. So details like this. So let me just bring my comma. I'm just bring my and comma, and then in our actual URL we do what, the inclusion here. We do the inclusion like this here. So let us call the inclusion here. Let us call the inclusion. I'll still use the path. Okay, for now I think I'll pass in an empty listing. So an empty, let me this part that maybe I'd like to pass in something like what, sorry, I like to pass in something like what int here, and then I do what, the inclusion here. So include what you want to include, the views dot what, there's u rs here. This is what you want to include here. What the include was, no, sorry, we did the include in our first. Okay, we have input our first up here before the include. So just like this, you can do the views dot u r, because okay, let's actually do the, sorry, let me actually do my first underscore app. It could actually this give us an error, so let me wipe this thing here and see. Okay, I think I have another view too, so let me just bring it like this. So this will be our, sorry guys use like this here. So let me save it like this, and I go to my views rather, and then I want to return the HTML. This is how we use render. So I've used render is actually to return about an HTML, and then the HTML, the HTTP response actually to return a straightforward parser or a straightforward HTML in a string. So first I'll just call my request here, taking and then my the folder that I created in the template here in the string. So the folder name was show.html, and then I passed in, let me just pass in some, it actually take 3 parameters. So when I bring the cursor here, it's actually supposed to give me some, let me see if it's actually bringing something here. This is actually supposed to take 3 parameters, the request, and then the HTML where it is being located, and then the context like this. So it's now for us to create our context here. So let me just create my, let me just create my context here. Okay, my context can just call it anything, so I can just call it my underscore my underscore context like this, and it's supposed to be a dictionary. So let me give it a key like what, a key like insert, because key like insert, and a variable name like what, I have been able to insert. So like this, I have this thing like this. So I just wanted to say something. So let me just include the name of my context here was what, my context like this, and I just save. Let me go back to my and check if it is really running. I have a problem here. My first has no attribute URLs. Okay, so I think there's an error here. So let me just go back to the actual URL here, the actual URL here. So okay, let's check back if it is really solved. Let me save again, head back. Okay, this is actually running. Then let me do a quick refresh. Then we call it something here. We did what ends, so like this. Got an error. Okay, so here we are, guys. We have been able to link our HTML, and then just like we created Django model, the template, then the view. This is what we can add a bit styling with which we can read the title in the center here. We can increase this and we can get, and then what I want to show is I have been able to insert. This of what I was talking about, that we included, let's in our view.py, included a dictionary here, and then for us to pass in a dictionary in our HTML, we use something called variable tag variable, and then this is the tag variable that I was talking about. This might look a little bit complicated, but since we've just started, we'll be seeing this more often. So this is how we pass in a variable tag in our HTML. And then now, what I want to show us is how we can maybe this file might be plenty. Maybe we can prefer to add another file here, another file inclusion. I want us to show how we can organize our codes or our programs. So I just wanted to include something like okay, so I'm able to move it. So I'll just have to change the path name here. I just have to add it. So I did it my underscore, and bear in mind this is not our app name. This is just a random name that I've just used. You can just use any random name. So my first underscore, I apply this and I set this running. Let me see if I have an error. I don't have an error, so let me just refresh. Oops, template does not exist at what end. Template does not exist at what. Okay, so since you have a similar fault with a similar fault here, so let's try to okay. So guys, here we are. So I have been able to imagine, say we want to organize our code very well. So I've created another app. I created another subfolder in our template, and then you can just give it a name, and then when you finish, you just move your HTML, the number of HTML you want to move into the file here. I'm able to done that, and then you just specify it in how we can do the render, how we render our show HTML here. Okay, so the last thing for us to do was to display what we call it static, what we call it fact, what we call images. So with images, it's similar to the templates. Yeah, so with the images, it's similar to the template. So you just on our file here, you just create a folder here. You give it a name was static, just like we know. So a name was static, just like we did for the template. You just have to specify the file path for the static here, we go into our settings, and then with the same thing here, we create what our static. Make sure static underscore URL is already created, so make sure you don't use that name. So we can use static underscore what DRL. This name has not been used, so as you can see, just like we did with the same this, we can do the joined path with what our base, and then with what we pass in the string of for the static, like this. So when you print, that's like we did for the template, when you print this, you'll be able to see the full part of what of where our static is what is being located. So let's try and add it, just like with the template, we add it here in our template backend folder. Let's add this static to our backend. You scroll all the way to the down, you can see static here. Just like I said, the static underscore the URL is already a built-in what URL that Django has it. So you can just go straight. You can just like in our file part here, you can just do something like what static, and then maybe we want to organize our code very well. That's like we do for the template. We have something called what images or maybe files here, and then with the name of the file, the name of the JPEG or the CSS or anything that we just want to pass in. Maybe we said we want what maybe image.jpg, something like that. For now, it will give us what error, please not from, because this we haven't specified this in our Django framework yet. So yeah, let's try go with okay, just like this one. So I can just do this one with the first one that I can just do what the end like this, yeah. But the recent one we just come sorry. So let's head back to our code, and then let's try to, just like we did with the a bit similar this one, we try to give it what a name. So a verb, so maybe static files, and then we do our, it's supposed to be in our list form like this. So here we passed in just like we passed in the template's name, how we pass this one like this. So this one we just have to pass in this name, the static underscore what DRL. So let's try to pass in the static underscore DRL with a comma here. So like this. So we've created, just like we did for the template, you can just like I said, we want to organize our code very well. So we just have to create a folder here. Maybe we name it like what files, just like I showed you earlier, files like this. And then you can just you want to display an image, so you can just pass link an image sorry, this image that I want to pass in. So where is the image again? So you can just where do you see the image? Let's go to our desktop. So this is our image here, so you can just pass in our image right to our HTML onto our host. So we have it here, right? We have it here. So code.room.jpg, just like us. So we can not even passing this into our HTML. You can just view, just like I showed. You can just view this thing raw here. You can just say static. So with the files, but it's what is files file or files. So you pass in the name of what, the JPEG. So dot what, JPEG. We hit enter. Oh, files could not be found. Let's try to see the error here. So we have what, our static, the files, and then the code room dot what, JPEG could not be found. I was trying to pass. Let's check out. Let's see if our server is indeed running. Static files code room dot JPEG. Okay, so let me do a refresh. Still, let me check. Let me cancel this thing from there. Let me see my settings. Settings is being saved. Static files. Okay. Included and the static. Okay, files. So let's try again. Static files. So static files code.jpg. This is supposed to give us the image file directly, but let's try with them. Sorry guys, this it's a bit tedious. So let's try to pass in, do a parser here into our HTML. So now we want to pass in, because just like I said, imagine if what we did was able to work. Imagine this works. We can't get our image by just telling our client to pass in this kind of long thing before we can get our output. I just want our client to just maybe go into our like the int, something like this, or maybe home. Okay, so let's use something that we normally use. So contact us like this, and then the image will be able to come. So let us try something like this. So for us to pass in our static, just like I said previously, that we'll be using this tag. The first one we use the double tag, but this one, anytime we want to load something in our Django, we want to load something, we pass in 1k bracket with what, 2 percentages, and then we do like this. We do load static like this. So we are loading this static thing here in our HTML. But then that later HTML load the static files here, and then just like we all know, we just want to do something like with our image. Just like we pass image in what we pass image in HTML, just like. But this a big difference is the same thing with our curly bracket. We do what's the double percentage here like this, then we do what, static. We do a static. This time static, then another bracket inside another bracket, and then we pass in the full part or the full image name here, just like this. So we do something like files underscore code.jpg, something like this. And then let's see if our server is running. Let's contact. Okay, let's see if our server is running, and then let's do something like with our int. Like I said, it can be any name with our int. And let's see. Oops, our image didn't load. Let's go check something. Okay, so now we just I think we will now have to let's, although this works. So now let us try to do our static our static underscore, it was files, then let me pass my code room.jpg like this and see. Oops, so it's works. So without not passing it into our HTML, into our show.html, which is our template. Django has this thing which we can call the file. We just call our code room. We just call it from using the Django static URL built in. So now, just like I said, we can't do this thing all alone. So we just have to pass in our file path like this, and then yes, we have our Django just like this. This is how we load our static in our templates, and then we just call it in our image tag file. We just load it static, and then in the strings we just call it here. So for now, if you're able to do our templates from here, insert our image. With this, you can just use our tag this thing to do our the width, which we can give it 200, yeah, and then you can do you can also do the height like this, to this 2 like this, and then you just check it like this. Boom! Wow! So right now we just have it here. You're able to return a template, and we're able to return a template. You're able to return a template, and the template and in a string. So guys, that's all. So right now our template does not exist, has been able to solve, and then just like I said, let's do one and subscribe.